So a sheet of this 20 gauge steel usually costs me around 60 bucks. Sometimes it's 58, sometimes it's 72, who knows. It comes in a 4x10 sheet, and I usually have them split it for me. Sometimes I buy a complete sheet if I'm doing something large, or I'll just bring it home full and I'll cut it when I get here. I don't have a place to store a 10-foot sheet. All right, so when I'm doing something with it large, like making a panel for a car, or a quarter panel, or patch panel for a door skin, I usually keep it in large forms like this. But today's repair, we're going to do it out of scrap. So being the hoarder that I am, I usually keep a good set of boxes around, pieces of aluminum like this that can come in handy. Pieces like this where they used to be apart and I didn't need all of it, so I cut off what I needed, kept the other piece. That's where our part came from today. Let's get this thing made and save some money. Using scrap like this may seem odd to some people that have got a lot of money, but I don't have a lot of money, so I like to use what I can, and I don't like to throw anything away that's, let's say, bigger than a business card. So if it's a business card or smaller, or if it's got some jagged edges on it, let's put our gauge back. If it's got some jagged edges on it, then I'll probably throw it away so that it's not a tetanus shot later. But I've got drop piles and drop boxes all over the shop where I throw my discarded metal. Then we use pieces to make certain things. For instance, on the Impala, this is a piece of scrap aluminum. I used it to go here because now we'll paint this to match and you won't see the body bolt that's behind it with all the debris from the tires throwing off on it. It had enough to do one for this side. So that brings us to today's project. This is a $920 part plus shipping plus tax, and we're going to fix it with a piece of scrap that came out of the pile. Now this is a part for the Porsche, that's why it's so expensive. But could you imagine replacing every part on your car that was repairable with a new piece just to say you saved some time? Well, we're going to take this piece, we're going to scribe around it with our soapstone pen, make us a little bit of a pattern, and we're going to trim it with some hand snips. Now you could use just about anything to trim this. It's some lightweight 20 gauge steel. We're going to try to keep it round. Now keeping it round, supposedly it helps on warpage, and I believe it does. If the item was square, then it tends to warp more. So we've kind of disformed it a little bit from where it was when we started. So I'm going to have to do some little tweaking with it, trim it just a little bit more, bend it back to where it was at. But no big deal. This stuff, like I said, bends really good. But always do try to keep your patch panels with a rounded edge if you can, just to keep it from warping. Not sure why it works that way. If you're a physicist or a really, really good person at describing that, go ahead and drop us all a comment so we can read it. Let us know why it works better if the edges are round. Maybe it has something to do with the way it sends the heat and deflects it off of the corners. Well, anyway, let's get this thing fitting a little bit better, and then I'm going to show you how we got it in here. Now, this piece that we've got, it's totally scrap. Most guys would have thrown it away. We had it left over from another job, so we're going to use it. All right, let's get this thing fitting a little bit better. So on this side, after I've got the piece cut out the best way I could, I went ahead and put me some layout dye on it, which you've seen me use before. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get that off of Amazon. The layout dye just kind of dyes the metal. It's easy to clean up, and we can scribe around it with a sharp point, an awl, or something like that, and get a pattern for the pattern that we just made. And we want to try to make that pattern fit as tight as we can, and we'll go back and adjust it, whichever one we need to adjust here shortly. But you can see all the holes in this thing, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. Those holes were created from the undercoating on the other side of this, where a rock may have gone up and hit the undercoating on the Porsche, made a hole, let moisture get down inside there. Yep, and it just stayed behind there and rusted out. So we're utilizing some of those holes. We're going to go ahead and trim this thing up with some hand pliers and some hand snips. Get this thing cut out. Hopefully get it cut out pretty close to what our pattern is. Take your time. Make sure you don't go too big because you don't want to have to try to weld up, the Grand Canyon of a split there. But get it close. When you get it really close, get you a file, some sandpaper. Go ahead and make it fit just a little bit better. In a minute, you'll see that I've got this thing fitting so tight that it just kind of like snaps in like a puzzle and just holds itself in place. But after we get it fitting the way we want to get it to fit, I went ahead and put some tape behind it. Like right now, it's got some just some yellow masking tape behind it, holding it in place. That way I can go ahead and get a few tack welds on it. Once you get a few tack welds in, you want to go ahead and pull that tape off because it stinks when it's burning and you don't want any kind of fire. But just take your time right here. Go around, do your little spot welds, make sure they all blend in. Go on the back side if you can. You see some weak spots back there, go ahead and hit them. You're going to grind that front side down to where you pretty much just need a skim coat of body filler, if that. Now, I'm not no perfectionist when it comes to this. I'm going to have to skim coat just about everything. So there's no sense trying to be a show-off and show you how smooth I got this after I dollied it and everything. But it is pretty smooth. After you get this done, you're just one step away from putting some paint on it. We went ahead and do our body work. And this is just a rough-end body work job. Do this, and then when you get through priming it and sanding your primers and fillers and stuff down, you can go ahead and skim coat it again on top of the primer if necessary. Now, don't you guys go away. I'm going to show you what I did for the rest of the day. The day ain't over yet, and this was about let's just say this took me about an hour to do this little job right here. So in 1 hour, we saved $900. Dust our hands off. Now, if it wasn't for good sponsors like Benchmark Abrasives, Spanky wouldn't be able to do what he does. Now, they don't only help out a little bit on the channel by providing some extra funds to give you guys t-shirts every month, but they also build a great product, great customer service, and I don't know what I'd do without them. It's really quality stuff, and I have been buying their products for years now. All right, we got that box of goodies put away. We're waiting on some Bondo to set up over there on that part so we can go ahead and do our second wipe. But first, we're going to run over here and punch a few holes in a perfectly good hot rod panel. That's right. Things are stacking up around here for louvers, so it's time to get a few of these things knocked out. We're going to knock this one out today. We've got another one to knock out tomorrow, and then hopefully we got a big hood to do this weekend and try to get it ready to go back to that customer before the end of the year. All right. When we get this knocked out, we're going to go get a bite to eat. So next time you need some holes punched in your car, hey, give Spanky's a try. Have you ever needed to use a pen in the dark? Well, the folks over at OLight decided that just in case you ever did, you might want to try theirs. It comes with an LED light in the clip, which has 4 different brightnesses. In the very end, it has a laser pointer. Just in case you wanted to use it in your classroom or illustration. On the very end of the pen, retracts in and out so it won't stay in your pocket, and there's a light in it. Slide it down, unscrew it, and you've got a charging port. Very easy to get to. Charge your pen up, put it all back together, and you're ready to write again. This is really, really unique. I'm so happy that they sent one over, but you know what? They sent more than one. They sent 2. All you need to do is be one of the subscribers to the channel, comment on any of the videos throughout the year, and this pen could be yours. So check out the link in the description for the new OLight O-Pen 3. I highly recommend it. What in the world do you think this is? Well, if you guessed a radio delete panel for a vintage Volkswagen, then you got it right. When somebody screws up their car, and they need somebody to fix it. So we made a little vintage Volkswagen radio delete plate to go in the dash so that we could put the radio delete plate back in there, which you see that's already painted with the trim on it. Now the part that we're putting in there takes the place of where radio would have been from the factory. Now don't worry about it. This whole episode is going to be airing soon, where we go from start to finish on this little Volkswagen radio delete plate. This is just what I did today, coming up in a video soon. Well, it's time to take a break, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Got to go shift a few gears and head on up to the Memphis Street Rod Car Club meeting. We do this once a month. We got about 85 members, and we usually have around 60 to 70 of them show up at every meeting. So I thought I'd carry y'all guys to the meeting, let you see what we're having for dinner before I come back home and continue finishing up that video that I'm doing for you. Let's take a really quick ride and see what it looks like outside. I better not show any faces. I'd hate for any of these guys to get picked up by America's Most Wanted. But man, these guys are a solid bunch. Well, back to work. I'm finishing up that video for the Volkswagen Dash. That'll be airing soon, but I cannot tell you how wore out I am. It's been a good 12-hour day. Yep, that's right. I'm back to only working half days now. But 12 hours, my feet are killing me. My belly is still full from the hot rod meeting. It's time to get inside, edit a video for you guys to see, and then start it all back over tomorrow. Hey, thanks as always. Hey, please check out our sponsors, the Lug Nut guys, Well Worth Products. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it.
Racing
you saw me
oil,
do several things around the
benchmark
shop today.
abrasives,
Man, I tell you what,
auto
it started
solo
off at
alignment
17
gear,
degrees.
Spanky's Hot Rods and Customs,
shorts, and now it's back to
and the list
15
goes
degrees
on.
outside.
If it wasn't for those
I don't
guys,
get this weather. I hope the weather is nice where
we
you're
wouldn't be able to
at,
give away what we
but
give away.
winter.
Till next
Can't
time,
get out of here quick
get
enough.
out in the garage
So
and go build
my
something.
buddies up in Canada that are watching me,